Welcome to Wednesday night's NBA action here on 2K Sports. This is Brian Anderson at the table with basketball roll. It'll be the Rockets off the tip. Let's take a look at our starters for Sacramento. We've got Donovan Clingan, Matisse Thybulle out there with Chet Holmgren. Then there's Keon Ellis, and it's Robertson in at the point.
Nice way to start the game. That's where you'd like to get your shots from.
Here's Thybulle. Knocks down the triple.
Don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
And so it's Suggs. He brings it up for Houston. And Grant, after last season, a new front office taking over in Sacramento, trying to get them back in the playoffs.
Yeah, and after ending their record-breaking postseason drought in 2023, the last 2 years have seen the Kings again outside the playoffs. They're restless to get back there in the mix. This is just fun. These teams are trading threes back and forth.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets three, you fire three of your own. Boom.
Count the basket.
From anywhere in the lane, Robertson's strength and quickness usually means he's the last man standing.
Outside Kamara. Thybulle against Durant. Drummond to screen on Thybulle. Here's Durant. And another basket for Houston.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Pass to Robertson. Over Suggs. Kicks it out to Holmgren. Sacramento passing it around. 6 to shoot. Back to Ellis. Late clock here. The Kings need to get one up. Clingan's shot is off. The Rockets have gone 3 of 3 so far from the floor. Dort, the pass to Drummond. And the jam by Drummond.
You know, Drummond always looks like he's trying to tear the basket down when he dunks.
Outside Thybulle. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Back comes Houston in transition. Here's Durant. 2 shots, 2 makes. Off to a good start.
You know, they get it to Durant because they trust him. They've got great confidence in him finishing in the open court.
Holmgren with a screen on Dort. Dort with a steal. Suggs outside. Outside Durant. Lots of room. Rebound by Sacramento.
Almost too wide open there. That's like a warm-up jumper for him.
Inside, here's Clingan, and he jams it home with authority.
And at his size, Clingan is always an above-the-rim threat.
And here's Suggs. Now Durant. Durant draws the double. Shot clock at 5. From the arc. Knocks it down from distance. Durant's got his 3rd basket of the night.
No fear or hesitation from KD. He's able to hit from anywhere.
And timeout called by Doug Christie. Coach taking this moment to speak to his guys. Maybe alter some of the game plan. Bears checked in for Drummond. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into this first quarter. Thybulle on the wing. Pass to Robertson. The floater. Great D that time from Suggs.
Not a lot you can say except fantastic job by the defense.
Durant, the pass to Dort. Back to Durant. Parked it down low that time. Got hit with the 3-second call. Sharp, he's checked in for the Rockets. Kings trail by 7. Here's Granger. Shot clock at 6. 4-3. Sacramento again missing. And Suggs has got the ball here for the Rockets. This one for 3. And the Rockets hit again from deep.
They've shown so much energy right from the start, particularly on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
Achua with a screen. Here's Terry. He's covered by Suggs. Here's Granger. After missing his first attempt, now 1 for 2.
You got to appreciate the consistency. Night in and night out, he brings it.
Pass to Ware. Outside Durant. And here's Sharp. Tipped. Here's Granger. Oh, got a piece of it. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Sharp.
Great read to get a hand in there and disrupt the play.
And, you know, even though they didn't come up with the steal, that's still a nice defensive play.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Tyson comes in for Durant, and Mitchell subbed in for Suggs. Back to Achua. Lets it go from deep. It's hauled in by Houston. Dort up top. Uses the glass to finish the layup. So Dort's got 5 now.
So far, they're owning both ends of the floor. We'll see if they can keep this going.
And, you know, nothing like getting an opponent on the ropes early. You love that if you're on that side of the scoreboard, and they are landing some haymakers now.
Pounding it inside early and often, setting a physical tone.
Sacramento shooting their first free throw of the night here. All right, the Rockets making a switch here. Walsh is checked in. And that one misses. A streamlined rebuild for the Rockets. In 2021, they trade away James Harden. 4 years later, the #2 seed in the West, Grant.
And they haven't shortchanged their future either. Sure, they've added key veterans, but the bulk of their roster still very young with room to grow.
Dort for 3. Nails it from beyond the arc. Give him 8.
They've really built this lead on the back of their perimeter game.
And I like the strategy. It's a great strategy. Bury those threes early, and it'll open up the inside for them later on.
We've got 1:28 left in the first quarter. Shot's good by Granger. Granger's gotten his second bucket. The Rockets lead by 9. Mitchell with the ball. Hasn't gotten one to fall yet. Dort. Boy, clanks that one off the back iron and it falls.
And clearly Dort knows how to operate inside, making his way to a high percentage shot.
Pass to Terry. The 3. Kept alive. And good work on the boards as they picked up the second chance points.
Good execution. They're getting some short-range looks here.
Now here's Ware. Ware, the screen. He takes it in, and he dunks it. What a pass to set him up.
You know you're doing something right when you find yourself up double digits in the first period.
Well, they're doing everything right. How about that? I mean, this could turn into a blowout very quickly.
Pass to Scott. Here's Granger. 5 on the clock. Jacks up a 3. The rebound by Ware. Ware's got his 4th rebound in this one. Nice move. Here's Dort. Oh, nice fake, but the layup's off the mark. What a performance for Lou Dort. He has been the story for the Rockets. He put together 10 points in the quarter. All right, stick around. We'll be right back after this. And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Houston.
You know, so far in this one, these guys have been knocking it down from distance. You've got to like their confidence as this game continues. They're on a nice roll.
And what's more, they're getting their feet wet down there in the paint early on. Not shying away at all, taking it inside. What a great way to start.
We've got Mitchell, Toumani Camara out there with Sharp. Then it's Suggs, and it's Walsh in at the 3, the small forward. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Rockets. Sacramento passing it around. Here's Robertson. Launches it from deep. Here's Klingon. And he banks in the layup. Klingon's got his second basket on the night.
When you're facing a guy as massive as Klingon, you really have to be smart about boxing him out. I mean, he is so good on the offensive boards to be so young.
The 3 from Suggs. Nails it from 3. Suggs has got 6. And players these days with great ball handling, but occasionally getting away with a carry at times.
Oh, you know, B.A., the old discontinued dribble. I mean, this might be where tracking cameras could start to help because that's such a tough call for an official to assess in the moment.
And Keon Ellis gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul of the game. Drummond's checked in for Sharp.
On the floor for your Rockets, number 1, Andre Drummond.
Second quarter here, just over a minute and a half played. Here's Walsh. No points yet. Back to Suggs. Clock at 6. No good there.
Defense doing just enough right there. Sometimes that's all you need.
Holmgren deciding where to go with it. Back to Ellis. And they call an illegal screen here.
Well, the league has put an emphasis to crack down on illegal screens.
Yeah, you know, he might have gotten away with that a few years ago, but not anymore. No way. Now you've got to be stationary on those screens. No extra hips or elbows, or they'll call it.
Durant, he's checked in for Houston. To the paint. Here's Drummond. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And because he struggled with his free throw shooting so much last season, I thought he was hesitant at times to be aggressive. Wasn't looking to draw contact and was trying to avoid getting to the foul line.
And that one falls for Drummond. And Clark, one thing this Rockets team is known for is their ferocity on the backboards.
Yeah, they were terrific retrieving their own misses, and they played with a grit and a toughness that I thought belied the team's youth, and that's a good foundation to build on. You've got tough-minded young players that are only going to get better. Keep an eye on this Rockets team.
Ellis outside. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. 5 to shoot. From about 16, and he hits the jumper.
Great to see players still working the in-between areas. There wasn't much resistance defensively.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, well the Kings are great offensively, but looking for continued improvement on the other end. Head coach Doug Christie said, defensively what I'm asking them to do, the level of intensity is difficult. I want you to play so hard that you raise your hand and say, quote, I need to come out of the game. Back to you.
Okay, Allie, thanks a lot. Here's Thibault, and it's all from three-point range.
And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
And he hits it and gets hacked. A three-point chance here if he can convert.
Man, Durant is a flat-out baller, showing off his wily strength on these tough finishes. He's a thin guy, but he's a strong guy.
Grant, is it fair to call Kevin Durant one of the most unique players we've ever seen?
Without a doubt, B.A., most definitely. The blend of size and perimeter skill, unprecedented. KD able to rise up and score over most any defender.
And Sacramento making a change here. Chua's checked in.
I don't think you could design a better scorer than Durant. I mean, range from deep, the touch at the rim, excellent handle, 7 feet tall. He does everything you want from your first option.
Pass to Robertson. Chua with a screen on Mitchell. There's the drive. Tipped. Durant surveying the D. And Durant with the big finish.
What doesn't Kevin Durant do? He's showing us everything here.
Kings trail by 18. Now here's Ellis. Still without a bucket. Pass to Holmgren. Thibault on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. And here's Holmgren. Sacramento passing it around. Here's Robertson. And another miss by Sacramento.
And the shooter had very little space on that attempt.
And guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
Durant for 3. And give him another one. He's 6 of 8 and looking solid.
Well, Durant looks close to automatic. I mean, he does not second guess or hesitate at all his shot selection.
And so now a timeout called by Doug Christie. He might have seen something and needs to review with his guys. Houston making some changes. Ware's checked in for Drummond. Tyson comes in for Kamara. And it's Lou Dort in for Walsh. Here's Terry. Pass to Achua. Here's Granger. Shoots over Durant. Granger, no good.
Soft defense in that mid-range area, but they got away with it this time.
Now Durant. Durant draws the double. Dort for 3. And that comes off the assist by Durant. Durant's got 4 assists in the game.
They've been very well-rounded and extremely focused.
Almost no holes in their performance tonight. They've been tremendous.
Scott passes to Terry. And there's the screen. Pass to Bona. And that one is hammered home.
He can really read the floor. Precision pass in rhythm.
And here's Durant. 15 points in the game. Here's Tyson. Achua defending. Ware. Rebound by Sacramento. Here's Granger. Terry, the pass to Achua. And it's Tyson with a rebound.
He's as surprised as we are. Most nights that bucket is automatic.
Pass to Mitchell.
2 minutes remaining.
Back come the Kings in transition.
2 minutes.
Here's Bona. Here's Terry. The 3. Sends it home from three-point land. Terry's got his second bucket on the night.
What makes Terry dangerous from range is how efficient he is. I mean, this guy does not waste these opportunities.
Here's Durant. That is now his 7th field goal in 10 attempts. Impressive.
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Yeah, I love the fact he doesn't play the score. He just keeps coming, attack mode. He doesn't know how to step off the gas pedal.
Pass to Granger. Takes the 3. And another Sacramento 3.
And that's on the defense, giving him a decent look. That's his shot.
Houston leading by 18. And so Ime Udoka decides to call timeout. He's going to take a minute to regroup with his players. Sharp, he's checked in for the Rockets. Suggs comes in for Mitchell. .59 seconds left in the half. Dort outside. Pass to Sharp. Now here's Durant. 6 to shoot. Suggs, right side. Achua with the rebound. Kings trail by 18. Here's Granger, guarded by Durant. Here's Granger. He has 7. And they'll turn it over. Couldn't get the shot off. A shot clock violation. And that shot was going nowhere thanks to that aggressive swat.
Those kinds of plays are the ones that get you on the lead and help keep you in front.
And for the Kings, number 23, Donovan Clingan.
Houston leading by 18.
If they take their time, this will be the final possession of the quarter.
Yeah, they've got to hold for the last shot here.
And they'll keep possession. Here's Suggs, outside for Dort. And so it's the Houston Rockets, feeling confident. 18-point lead to win that quarter. Their efficiency has been off the charts. They're running their sets well with patience and purpose. Well, now we have some time to check in with Allie LaForce. Allie.
I'm here with Coach Ime Udoka. And, Coach, what are some of the positives that you can take away from that first half?
Our physicality has been good to start. Obviously, a point of emphasis is keeping them under control in transition. We like how we're guarding defensively. Obviously, it is big against this team. Great start. Thanks, Coach.
Allie, as always, thank you. We'll be back right after the break for the third quarter here on 2K Sports. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly in the second. You know, Kevin Durant has really been making it happen here, guys.
Yeah, he's kind of been the floor general for them tonight. A lot of assists for him.
And, you know, that's not a job they ask him to do very often. But in the first half, I thought he was in perfect sync with his teammates.
And on the floor for Doug Christie as we get into the second half. They've got Keon Ellis clinging out there with Chet Holmgren. Then it's Matisse Thybulle, and it's Robertson in at the 1. Just 5 to shoot. Shot from the top of the key. Drummond grabs the miss. The Rockets lead by 18. Now Dort. Pass to Suggs. Now Durant. And it's Holmgren with a rebound. Ellis on the wing. Dort defending. Tries the spin move. Ellis passes to Holmgren. Here's Robertson. He's covered by Suggs. Robertson's shot is off. Houston has gotten 7 of 8 three-pointers to go in this game. Dort outside. It's stolen by Thybulle. Ellis on the wing. Right around a minute and a half played in the third quarter. Not going to go that time. Great D that time from Kamara. And so it's Suggs. He brings it up for Houston. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. And the officials will call the illegal screen here.
One of the trickier plays to judge, but it would be hard to argue against the call.
Yeah, you know, the officials aren't nearly as lenient as they used to be on that call. As a matter of fact, I know I got away with a lot of those in my playing days, but that was 40 years ago.
Walsh checked in for Durant. And so now a timeout called by Doug Christie. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Ellis outside. Pass to Holmgren. It's hauled in by Houston. Kamara's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Now Suggs. Back to Dort. Goes up on the wing. And it's Holmgren with a rebound. Kings trail by 18. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Brian. Chet Holmgren talked about how he succeeds in spite of a slender frame. He said, "You can't be afraid of contact. I'll continue to use my strengths out there, my length, being slippery, playing hard, and try to get better at my weaknesses too throughout my career. That will leave me in a good spot." Back to you.
The sky is the limit for him. All right, Allie, thank you. Suggs, the pass to Drummond. Here's Walsh. Clock at 6. Thibault with a steal. Pass to Klingon. Here's Robertson. Just 5 on the clock. Looking to get back on track. And he takes it up and lays it in. Robertson's got his 3rd basket on the night right there.
Offense has been hard to come by so far. A much-needed bucket right there.
Yeah, it's been a defensive battle to say the least, partner. Good to see at least somebody got the ball in the basket. Finally.
Out of bounds, it'll go to the Kings. Houston making some changes. Tyson, he's checked in for Kamara, and Mitchell subbed in for Dort. The Kings also with a sub. Achua's checked in for Klingon. Ellis outside. Sacramento passing it around. Holmgren outside. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Houston. Here's Tyson. Yet to see a basket. Mitchell with the ball. Suggs outside. Shot clock at 6. Back to Drummond. Achua with a steal. Suggs, the pass to Drummond. Now Suggs. And here's Mitchell. He's guarded by Ellis. Pass to Suggs. Down low. The fadeaway. Back to Drummond. Now Suggs. Drummond, the screen on Achua. The 3 from Suggs. No luck on that one. Kings trailed by 16. Here's Robertson. He has 6. Ooh, poked away. Suggs against Achua. Now here's Suggs. Here's Tyson. Drummond with the screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Rejected by Holmgren.
And you can't forget about Holmgren's reach, especially when he's nearby on defense.
Here's Robertson. Checked by Mitchell. Fader on the way. The shot misses.
Fadeaway was the right shot there because he got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
To win the drought. And another miss by Houston. Kings trail by 16. To the inside. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Holmgren. Houston making some changes. Sharp comes in for Drummond. And Khalil Ware subbed in for Suggs. The Rockets have gotten off to a rough start. Now 0 for 5 in the second. And so Ime Udoka decides to call timeout. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. Durant, he's checked in for Houston. Mitchell finds Durant. Oh, that's his 8th make of the game. He's only missed 4 so far.
Yeah, Durant and his teammates really in sync. I mean, helping each other out, facilitating for each other. That basket there, a real team effort.
Here's Terry. And they get it back. Pass to Granger. Second chance effort. It's hauled in by Houston. Tyson's got his 4th rebound in this one. A A minute and a half left in the third quarter. Here's Durant. Mitchell up top. Fires for three. And that comes off the assist by Durant. Durant's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Well, I think he shot the ball well, guys, but I don't think he shot it enough. The more shots he gets from here on out, the more they'll stretch out this lead.
Here's Granger. 7 points in the game. Clock at 6. It's good. Granger's got 9 points.
Doing what he can to help shrink the deficit, but it has to be a team effort.
Here's Durant. It's deflected. Pass to Terry. The 3 is up. Sharp grabs the miss. The Rockets lead by 19. 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And here's Durant. He's got 19.
Well, you've got great confidence as a coaching staff when the ball's in Durant's hand. And you can see why. He knows how to make good decisions out there just like that.
Here's Granger. He's got 9. From deep. Up in time. Oh, and the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And so it's the Houston Rockets. They're feeling great. A 21-point lead. A big difference in shooting percentages. That's why they lead. We'll be back in a moment. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'll tell you what, this was a no-brainer tonight. Take a look at the precision on this feed. Couldn't place it any better.
Served him up a tasty room service dime right there, boy.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that, to this point, has not been an evenly fought contest. Lugens Dort out there with Suggs. Then there's Sharp. Then there's Khalil Ware. And it's Walsh in at the 3. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. Kings trail by 21. Pass to Klingon. Here's Terry. He's covered by Suggs. Here's Scott. There's the screen. Here's Granger. Off target with the 3.
That's exactly how you have to defend them on the perimeter. Can't allow any space.
Dort for 3. They get it back. Pass to Ware. To the middle. Outside for Dort from behind the arc. The Rockets again can't hit. Well, the Kings shooting just 35% from the floor. Here's Granger. The rebound by Ware. Ware's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Dort outside.
Yeah, I think he's letting his emotions get the better of him on that foul.
Not his best moment. Obviously, no one on their team's happy right now, but you shouldn't be taking that frustration out on your opponent with a poor foul.
And the Rockets making a change here. Kamara's checked in. Dort outside. Houston working the ball around. 6 to shoot. Suggs finds Dort. Late clock. Houston's got to hurry. Off target from outside. Kings trail by 21. Here's Robertson. And there's the whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. It's going to go on Jalen Suggs.
And Robertson is a do-it-all kind of player, my kind of guy. I mean, he's also somebody you could trust to help facilitate your offense.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
Well, you know, for me, the passing has been fantastic all night. Everybody loves watching this style of basketball where the ball moves and players move. Coaches, fans, and even us broadcasters can appreciate that kind of action.
Another thing they're doing well tonight is shooting from long distance. All game long, they've been finding openings at the perimeter.
And Houston making a change here. Durant's checked in. And that's good as he hits both shots. Houston leading by 19. Suggs surveys the D. Thibault against Durant. To the wing on the left. Just 5 to shoot. Suggs, the pass to Durant. Houston with another miss. Kings trail by 19. Here's Scott. Thibault on the wing. Pass to Scott. Holmgren outside. Here's Scott. The 3 is up. Here's Klingon. And that one's good with extra effort on the glass.
I love it. When Klingon starts throwing that weight around, he'll knock you out of position.
Here's Ware. And here's Suggs. Pass to Kamara. Now here's Suggs. Outside Durant. Shoots over Thibault. And that one's good by Durant. Durant's got 21.
Durant taking every last second there to get off his shot. This guy's got a flair for the dramatic at times.
Now here's Holmgren. Kamara covering. Ooh, anticipated the pass. It's a turnover. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've played about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Here's Thibault, and the three-pointer goes.
Nifty move, kicking that ball outside as the defense tries to collapse.
And Ime Udoka has called timeout. He wants to make sure everyone is aligned, given the situation right now.